everyone. Welcome back to High Ground Podcast. Once again, joined by myself and Landon. Without further ado, Landon, what are we talking about?
We are going to be talking about from the world of John Wick, Ballerina. We are going to be reviewing Ballerina. Came out 2025 recently. And we're going to jump right in before we get into ratings and all that. Let me tell you a little bit about it. So this is the 5th iteration in the John Wick world. It's like a spin-off of the John Wick series. There's 4 John Wick movies. John Wick Chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4. Ballerina was directed by Lynn Wiseman. It stars Ana de Armas. Is that how you say it? Armas?
Yeah, Ana de Armas.
And then the ratings right now it has a 75% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 7.3 out of 10 on IMDb, and a 3.5 on Letterboxd. Zach, tell me about your thoughts on Ballerina. Tell me your ratings, if you recommend it, all of it.
Oh, yeah. So I'm definitely like a big John Wick fan. I'm one of those people that kind of got into it later. So I wasn't like into it when it first came out. I didn't even watch the first one till all 4 were already out. So like pretty recently I like watched all of them and caught up to like prepare for this, but they're really good. They're one of those franchises where it's like they're just all really great movies, and they do seamlessly like tie into one another. So it is very much like chapter 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's like a whole saga really. I gave it a 8.9 out of 10. I thought it was really well executed. And like that's kind of around where a lot of the other ones I rated in the past. So like just John Wick movies. I thought it was solid. Like I had a lot of. I kind of went in with a neutral expectation. Like I didn't have high expectations per se, but I was just kind of like, I don't know, because like I don't know if it'll be as good just because like it's a John Wick movie without John Wick like in the world of it. Yeah, and I was blown away. Like I thought it was amazing. And I'd highly recommend it. But what about you? What are your ratings on it? I
rated it high as well. I rated it 8.4 out of 10. I thought it was great. I think all the ratings right now, like being 77.3 and 75 above on Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb, are valid. I think this movie was great. I think it still captured the essence of that world of John Wick with everything that comes from the John Wick movies, but is a whole different new character. And I thought Ana de Armas did very good at playing her character, Ballerina. And I don't know, I thought it was great. I definitely recommend this movie. I think, John Wick movies just as a whole have like some of the best action scenes, right?
Oh yeah.
I would argue that Mission Impossible have like the best like action and stuff,
just blatant action
as like a whole. But as far as like fight scenes and like hand-to-hand combat or whatever, like that's straight up John Wick's. Like that's that franchise that's what they're good at. And I thought this movie did really good at capturing that from the other 4 movies. And it takes place in between 3 and 4.
Which was very interesting because I didn't find that out till like a week before we went and saw it. Because I told you because you were catching up on them as well. And I was like, oh yeah, like I sent you. I was like, so apparently it takes place between 3 and 4. And that was unexpected because like, I figured, spoilers, but I figured because the 4th one he dies. So it's like, I figured it would just take place after that or like maybe a little before, but it fits very well between those 2 movies, like without a beat missing. So, it was really impressive.
Yeah. And I think we're going to go ahead and if you're still watching this and if you haven't seen the John Wick or if you haven't seen Ballerina, we're just going to go ahead and say spoilers. Yeah. But we recommend this movie. Go watch this movie. Great movie. You'll enjoy it. I promise you'll find something in that movie that you'll enjoy. Oh, yeah. So let's start off with John Wick is back. This takes place between 3 and 4. Like you said, John Wick dies in John Wick 4, which is really sad. I'm still confused about that. But yes, John Wick is involved. And tell me about that. Tell me how you liked his involvement. Was it good? Was it bad?
That's the thing too, is like, I'm like, how are they going to do this? Because I mean, for those that are like big John Wick fans of the franchise, like he makes that Keanu Reeves makes those movies spectacular.
Yeah.
Like everyone around him does too, but like he is the guy, you know. So when I first saw, I was like, how are they gonna like put him in the movie respectfully without completely like sidelining him?
Yeah.
And they did it. Like they actually incorporated him, but they did a good job of not overshadowing Eve Macaro, who's played by Ana de Armas. But also they didn't do it too much where he's just like a blatant side character. Like he had a hand to play in it, but like
yeah,
I don't know how to explain it, but it was perfect. Like they did it in a way where it was respectful to John Wick, but like they didn't change him at all.
Yeah, it didn't overshadow Eve's character, and I mean honestly, yeah, it was. I thought they did it perfectly. I agree with that. He was involved a little bit. Not like he probably had less than 5 minutes of screen time.
Oh, easily
maybe 5 minutes, like on the dot. And I thought they embodied that 5 minutes as much as they could with his aura. John Wick's got the crazy aura.
Definitely top 5 like characters with aura. Like I told you that
100%.
Like he just dude's a menace, like in the best way.
And like we said, spoilers ahead, but yeah, even like their fight scene, I thought it was really good. That like, because I was like, there's no way that this girl is gonna beat John Wick in anything.
Oh yeah.
And him just like being like, just walk away after like completely like killing, or not killing her, but
just bullying her.
Yeah, basically bullying her. Like that was great. Something else I want to talk about just within the franchise. I would argue that there are no bad films in this franchise.
Agreed.
Yeah,
like that. That's what I'm saying. Like we had a whole conversation, and I think this is a very interesting take. It's like this is one of the only movie franchises where you could argue any one of those movies being the best. And I'm not saying just like in your own opinion, because everyone has their own opinion. I mean like legitimately like fact, like this is the best of the franchise.
Yeah.
Compared to the others, because each are so good, you could make a valid argument as to why. Which that never happens in my opinion with like franchises. So yeah, like they're all great, and it's just one of those franchises that you could pick up at like any point. Like you could watch 2 randomly one day or 4, and like it's gonna be a solid movie.
Yeah.
But no, that's the thing. That's why that's another reason I really appreciate Ballerina, because it really does a deeper lore dive into the world of John Wick. Because like we have a basic understanding of a lot of this stuff, but each movie they reveal a little bit more and more. And this one, it was mainly with like the Roscaroma, which is the same faction that like John Wick kind of came from. That's like where ballerinas are. But then we get this whole new faction where I forgot the name of them, but like, you know, the whole plot is like because they have X's on their wrist, and they're like, they don't play by the same rules, to quote Winston said that. But it's just very interesting to me. Like that's one thing I really hope in the future with these movies and spinoffs and stuff is like they'll do more.
Like more lore.
Because even the fact we have 4 movies and we still don't have a full understanding of who the High Table are, like member wise, and what are they, you know, is interesting as well. But there's just so much in this world that could be explored, and this movie proved that to me. Yeah,
and I agree. And like we said, Ana de Armas did phenomenal at playing Eve. She absolutely murdered that role. That's a good thing.
Pun intended.
Pun intended. But let's talk about there wasn't necessarily a post-credit scene, but there is definitely a open ending with her bounty going up, kind of the same thing as the end of John Wick 2, where his bounty just skyrockets, and you know he walks away. Are you looking forward to maybe a potential Ballerina 2, 3, 4? That she dies?
Let's just do the same thing, but on a day. Like
from the world of John Wick, of the world of Ballerina comes Pinocchio.
Oh my god! Man, you joke about that, but you're gonna speak it into existence, man.
Hey, man. But yeah, talk about that. Like,
no, because that's one of the first things like we talked about after just watching the movie. I'm like, man, that was really good. But also, like, they really left it where they could come back to this.
Yeah.
And I think they should. I think Ana de Armas proved that not only can she, like, kill this role, but, like, she has what it takes, like, just physicality, like, because, you know, to do a John Wick movie, and I talked about this in the past, like with Keanu Reeves, he would train and do these sessions, like he would do a lot of these hand-to-hand combat scenes himself, and then in the movie you see him kind of walk a little, like, with a limp. That's real, like, that's real life, like, that's not like a gimmick, like, he's actually, like, beaten up and just tired. So I think that's the same with Ana de Armas. She, like, encompasses that, but also it's like we really saw her origin in this movie, but there's more to her character to explore. Kind of how John Wick in the first one, the whole first John Wick movie was just explaining his origin and starting the beginning of, like, who is John Wick, you know, because it's very ambiguous. And then John Wick 2 kind of picks up with that, and each one we learn a little bit more about him. So I think I could definitely see them doing like 3 or 4 movies just with Ballerina. And I'd hope they would, because even the whole like her bounty went up, but it's like, okay, now what? Like, why did it go? Like, who sold her out? Which is probably the mother. Yeah. Not her actual mother, but the character, the mother. You know, yeah, the director. Thank you. That's the name. Yeah. Sorry, it's just I always call her mother, so I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, there's just a lot to explore, and I think, like, they've barely scratched the surface with her character, and in a good way. Yeah, what about you? Like, what are your thoughts on, like, potential spinoffs and follow-ups?
I am down. That is something with, so, like, I recently watched, I watched the first movie, and then I binge watched the last 3 before this movie came out, and all these movies have, like I said, the best action scenes, and I always enjoy them, right? Even though some of them are freaking gross, man. Yeah. But they're all very entertaining, so I am 100% down and would love them to do more Ballerinas, and even a John Wick 5. Like, would you want a John Wick 5? Like, I would love a John Wick 5. Like, I don't know how they would do it.
And I think, and it's still kind of up in there. I'm pretty sure it's confirmed and, like, greenlit. It's happening, but no one knows how they're going to do it. Because it's like, if you do a John Wick 5, how do you it either has to be a prequel where it takes place, like, before all the movies, or it has to take place between the movies, which I don't think that's a good idea, just because, like, then you get too much, you know, going on, or after, which is, like, the only explanation is he faked his death, like, so which is very possible, because, you know, rule number 1, you don't see a body, they're not dead. They ain't dead. So it's highly possible. And I think the success of this movie will really show, like, they can make a John Wick 5 and people will go watch it. Regardless of how they do it. So but yeah, that's something funny I wanted to talk about too. So I've told you this several times. With these movies, there's always a unique action sequence, or, like,
there's always something
that makes the movie stand out. So for Ballerina, the grenade scene.
This girl and her freaking grenades. Like, just for context, like, she's in this room and there's all these guns, and she's like, I don't want these guns. And then there's a box of grenades. She just takes the box of grenades and uses it in the most craziest ways ever. Like, one of the ways was the wildest ways I've ever seen someone use grenades, right? This girl ties this guy's neck, hangs him. No, that's not enough. Blows his head off.
Literally, like,
he's already dead.
Stop! He's already dead. No, literally, and then there's like that, and then also, like, within that scene too, she literally like puts it in the guy's mouth, pulls the pin, and, like, shuts the door behind him. What's happening?
Oh my gosh! Like, all right,
like that solidified. Like, okay, she kind of good with it. Like, all right, she's kind of an assassin, yeah.
It's like me in Fortnite with the grenades, bro.
No, oh my gosh, that's such a funny callback. That's you with explosives in any game, like.
Yeah, honestly.
But yeah, no, it's because, like, and then oh gosh, I'm trying to think of, like, the other ones.
There's the one in, like, the room. She got, like, behind the table. That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, but and just the other John Wick movies, like, because like John Wick 2, the whole, like, silencer
Yeah.
Like they're just walking in like the gentleman's bar, you know? So like that's set up. But there's just, like I said, you could find just crazy stuff. It's like, how do they come up with this?
Yeah. I thought something that was funny about Ballerina was that everyone in that village was trained and it was on spot. Like it was on like Donkey Kong, man.
Dude, that was such a cool fake out because she shows up to the cafe, she orders a coffee, and like all the people in the cafe like dip. Like they know something's about to go down. So I'm like, oh, okay. So like the bad people are here and they're like telling them like, hey, leave. No. They're saying leave and go arm. Like go get your gun. Go get your piece. Because then next thing you know, she takes out these guys. And even like the waitress, whatever.
Yeah, the barista.
The barista, thank you.
Yeah.
Pulls out a knife. I'm like, what is happening?
Well, literally,
like,
it's like
everywhere you turn, like, dude. And then there's one scene later where like there's this family and the mom and dad like have their kids go inside and they go with a full.
Yeah.
Knife. I'm like, what is like?
It's like
hello.
All right. Yeah, because like when she pulls up, they're all like the kids are bad and they act like they're scared and stuff. But nah, they're strapped and ready to go.
Like, dude,
at any moment.
I was half expecting a toddler to come out with a Glock at some point.
Yeah,
like
bro.
that's just kind of the vibe it was given, man. But no, I mean, like, hey, like, you know, each their own, bro. Like, but that's crazy, you know.
Yeah. And honestly, like just with this movie as a whole. Oh no, let's talk about this. All right, I feel like the most random thing in this movie, which is kind of crazy, but kind of like downplayed like crazy, was her sister.
Oh yeah,
It was like a plot twist.
That's the only nitpick I have with this movie. I'm like, you introduce her being her sister, and you're just like, kill her.
She gone.
Like, cut the check. Like, she's gone. Like, I was like, I took a second. I'm like, no way she's dead here, right? And then Eve gets up and like goes over to her, and she's just like dying. I was like, bro, like they just like reunited.
Yeah.
Like there was no like I thought, okay, they're gonna team up. Like I knew she was gonna die, like the sister would, but I thought, oh, she'll die like towards the end. Like, fighting it out, but nope, she just
nah, they're just gonna
by grenades, ironically.
This movie and their grenades.
The grenade movie. Yeah, so like kind of speaking of like characters underutilized to that degree, another one that stood out to me was Norman Reedus, who most of you know is like Daryl Dixon in The Walking Dead. So he plays.
Oh yeah.
He plays the son of the main villain, and his daughter is the granddaughter of the main villain. So that's like a whole side plot within itself, which is a cool side plot because it kind of mirrored Eve's backstory a lot, like because that's how her dad died, and that's what got her this whole revenge tour, basically, of trying to get the person responsible that took her father from her.
Yeah.
So like I was really confused because Norman Reedus gets shot. I'm like, oh, okay, so he's dead, even though he's only been on screen for like under 2 to 3 minutes, less than John Wick.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, but because I thought he would have a lot more involvement-ish in the movie. But yeah, I thought they killed him. And then later at the end, it turns out like he's alive. He's just like hospitalized. So I was like, okay, at least they didn't kill him.
Thank God.
No, literally, that's how I felt. Because I was like, man, like, what was the point? If you're just going to kill him, bro.
Yeah, I thought his character was good. Like, just that whole continental scene of like, he's just chilling there because they can't kill him, you know?
Oh, it's such a smart like
a
play on
move.
it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that was like one of the whole plots of John Wick 2 towards the end is like, you can't kill me.
Yeah. Dude, that is definitely one of my favorite scenes is when he like grabs just the stair and what's his name? Sharon?
Oh,
Charon. He's like, you can't do that. You can't kill him now. Like,
yeah. Literally, no, that's so funny. It's like,
literally what it was.
It's so good.
With that being said, like we already talked about John Wick 5, Ballerina, but we've already had a spin-off. What are other things that you hope would come out of like this franchise with now the first spin-off of the franchise and potential future sequels of John Wick and maybe future sequels of Ballerina and maybe future spin-offs? Like who knows? Like what is something you hope to look forward to in the future for this franchise?
I hope like So this is one of the franchises where there's a lot of mystery. So like to elaborate on that, one thing that always like was unique to me, or like a really cool thing, is like this whole world of John Wick, like, you know, this fictional world. There's so many assassins, like in just broad daylight, like to the point it's like, is there any normal people in this world? Like they're everywhere, bro. Because like John Wick 2, the ending to that, which is arguably like my favorite ending, where Winston's like, you know, you're excommunicado, and then he like shows him like, I could kill you right now, but I'm gonna let you get a head start, and then everyone reveals, like, they just turn, and it's like, holy crap. Like, there's so many. So I hope slowly they unfold more and more of the mystery to there is no more mystery in this world. So that makes more sense. Why is there so many assassins? Who are the high table? Because there's so many questions unanswered, to the point that it's valid they can make more spinoffs and stuff. What I do hope is, to a point though, kind of like Mission Impossible lately, is they know when to finally fold and call it quits. Because I think the number one thing that kills franchises nowadays is they over milk it. They make too many. And I don't think John Wick's there yet. I think John Wick 5 is still a lot, like just with John Wick, but like Ballerina, they can do spinoffs. And then I've heard people really wanting like a Kane spinoff, which is the blind guy in John Wick 4. So like they could keep building within this world. If they do it smart, though. So that's kind of my hope, is like, obviously there's still so much more story to tell. But
something I would like is a prequel, and just talking about like none of the world and how the Continental and the rules became a thing, the high table and all that. I want to know.
Oh, like that origin of everything.
An origin of everything. That would be pretty cool.
I would like that, actually. That'd be insane.
Something else that I really want to give props to on this movie, the girl that played young Eve was literally perfect casting, because she was literally a young version of Anna de Armas.
I was so bewildered, because when they first like showed it, I thought it was Anna de Armas. So I was like, wait, why is she? Oh, she's a kid.
Literally props to the casting director, because you did a good job.
That's one thing with these movies, is they do not miss on casting. Like ever. Like it is just like peak every time they cast someone new. But no, I agree that too, like the whole opening to that movie where it like slowly revealed her origin was perfect. Like you're captivated from the get-go, and then we get to present day and it's like boom. And it's already been a solid like 10-15 minutes just for the intro. It's like, I love that.
It was
like,
perfect.
It was so good. Yeah, and we kind of talked about it. I did want to like mention it real quick. Just speaking of like returning characters, it was really cool. We got Sharon and Winston back. Winston especially had such a bigger role in this than I thought he would. Because I love Winston. He is such a cool character, and the actor that plays him is phenomenal. He's been in, so he played Blackbeard in Pirates of the Caribbean, Stranger Tides.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if you knew that or not, but that's how I know him. So like every time I see him, I'm like, that's Blackbeard. And then Sharon, obviously played by Lance Reddick, rest in peace, was an awesome character just in general. So like to see him again, I didn't think we were going to see him again. And this being like Lance Reddick's like one of his final roles before he passed away was really cool to me.
I agree. Out of the, you include Ballerina, out of the John Wick franchise, which movie is your favorite?
So, it's a toss up. So I told you the other night, I was like, I keep going back and forth between John Wick 3 and John Wick 2. I'd have to say like, just overall, I'd say probably John Wick 3 Parabellum. Just because it's such a unique, like just from the get-go, like one, it picks up right after John Wick 2, like seamlessly, to the point you could watch them both back to back and you wouldn't know like it's two separate movies.
Oh yeah, it goes right into it.
So it's really good that way. But also just the whole concept of like John Wick is like literally being hunted all over the globe and he's surviving. I'm like, how in the world? Like,
he's him.
He is him. But like, it was such a captivating story. And then finally ending with like, he could have killed Winston, but chose not to. And Winston could have chose to kill him. He's like, he didn't want to. But then it's a twist. And then he does try to kill John Wick, and he survives. It's like, how did he survive?
No, that was crazy plot armor when he freaking just fell
from
and
the
then
roof.
He walked it off, and his dog followed. I'm like, dude, all right, I get it.
The pigeon man.
The pigeon man. Yeah,
I love that character, bro. But yeah, like, and that's what they're so good and interchangeable. But I'd say John Wick 3 is probably my favorite. John Wick 2 is a close second. What about you? What would you say your favorite out of the whole franchise is?
I love 2, but I really love 1. I like the origin of John Wick, and I hate seeing like the whole dog dying and everything. So like, him getting his revenge, I'm like, good for him. Like,
that's something
you deserve the revenge.
I wish someone took, because I knew because again, I came into this franchise late, but I knew, because the whole meme online is like, when you accidentally kill someone's dog and then John Wick shows up, you know? It's like, that's a whole meme. But like, I didn't like, so obviously I knew the dog died, so like I already got like emotionally attached to the thing, and then I didn't think they'd actually show it though. So like when I watched that movie and they actually showed it, I'm like,
dog.
Bro, because I have a big heart when it comes to animals. Like I'm one of those people. It's like, you know, if I watch someone die in a movie, like clearly it doesn't bother me because the John Wick movies. But like you hurt an animal, like, man,
like, what are we doing?
I'm angry, bro. Like, but yeah,
that's fair.
That is a good. John Wick is like that's what I'm saying. Like that, and that's the whole point. Is that you can make an argument for either one of them being the best, and you're right. Like they're good.
Good. Before we close out, are you good to close out?
Yeah.
Before we close out, how long do you think you survive in a fight with John Wick?
Just okay.
Weapons, everything. No.
So I can have Man.
He pulls up right now. How long are you lasting?
3 seconds.
That's fair.
I don't even.
Hey, that's more than 2.
Like I might get the gun off, but he's bulletproof, man.
Yeah.
Like, what am I gonna do against that?
Nah, that is actually really crazy. The bulletproof.
That is one of the coolest things they ever added. Because I'm like, dude, imagine. And then they like then everyone gets one. I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
Imagine you're walking down the street and you see someone like.
Cool. So you're gonna close?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So we're gonna close right there. We recommend Ballerina. If you've watched this whole movie and got spoiled,
we're sorry.
Just go watch it at this point. I said this whole movie, this whole episode. So y'all, we love Jesus. We love sharing the Bible, and I'm gonna be sharing out of Romans 1:20 today.
And it says, "For ever since the world was created, people have seen the earth and sky. Through everything God made, they can clearly see his invisible qualities, his eternal power, and his divine nature. So they have no excuse for not knowing God."